I've been living in my van to save me commuting time for work. And now that I live in my van, I actually have a lot more freedom as opposed to spending my whole day driving home. I got my hands on a Chevy Express and I began renovating it and turning it into a full-blown off-grid house on wheels. Not only does this save me time, but I can focus more time on the gym and my fitness journey. I've come a long way on turning this van into a house. However, I've recently ran into some issues understanding my own system that I'm building, and it costed me a few nights of sleeping in the cold. No sleeping bag, just warm clothes that I wear for work. Saves you money just sleeping in my work clothes. It's just as warm as a sleeping bag, just as comfortable. As long as my work clothes are warm and as long as they're clean, I don't need to buy a sleeping bag. But anyways, I figured out that power issue, but there's symptoms behind running out of power in the cold. Because now I forgot to drain my water lines before my van froze over and my water pump bursted. We're gonna troubleshoot that water pump and get it running again so I can have running water in my van. I got my sink right here and the water used to run. Since my components have been freezing, there's something wrong with my water pump. I got my water tanks underneath. I got my fresh water, and then it goes to the sink, and then it spits the water out in the sink as a normal sink should, and then it goes into this gray water here. Behind this gray water, you can kind of see my water pump is right here. But whenever I turn the power on, that happens. So there's a massive leak somewhere. I need to figure out what happened. I wonder if the water froze and expanded inside the pump and just bursted it. Kind of looks like where the water's spraying out is nowhere near the pipe. It actually looks like it's spraying underneath those two red wires. I'm gonna pull out my water pump. I'm gonna unscrew the water pump and pull it out right now and see if there's any cracks in it. Yeah, even just taking these screws off, I can see icicles coming down from the water pump from everything freezing over. And this could be the reason why the fuse popped too. But luckily, I don't think these pipes froze. It looks like all the water is coming from this little square right here. I wonder if I can just tighten it maybe? Yeah, it's already tight. Oh yeah, I see a crack now. Yep, I can see it. So it's very hard to see, but underneath this red wire right here, there's a crack. Yep, right there, right where the tip of my finger is. Luckily I came prepared. I got my instruction manual right here. If I flip to the repair parts, repair kits right here, bam. This is all the parts that you can repair and replace yourself. So in my case, this is the part that has the crack in it, which is part number 1, the pressure switch. Part kits 9480105. 9480105. Search for no product results for 9480105. I got no option but to just call them and see if they can send me a new part. So first I'm going to call them and then I'm going to email them.
Thank you for calling Pentier Agricultural, RV, and Marine Customer Service. This call will be recorded and may be monitored for training. Please refer to our privacy notice on Pentier.com. Please select from the following menu options. Thank you for calling. Your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order of your call. Otherwise, please stay on the line and your... This is Randy, how can I help you?
Hello, I have a question about my water pump that I ordered from you guys a while back. It ended up freezing and one of my parts broke, and I just want to replace one of the parts, and I'm looking at the manual right now, and it looks like the part that I need isn't available on your guys' website anymore. I was wondering if you know any way I could get this part. I got the part number right here. The pump is the SureFlow 4048 RV bypass pump. Part number right here. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It is 9480105.
Yeah, that's just the pressure switch. We still make that. You should still be able to get it. The same pressure switch goes on the 4008 series pump, which is 3 gallons per minute, and yours is 4 gallons. The pressure switch is the same, but just the literature that comes in the kit that refers to the 4008 series versus the 4048, but it's the same switch. So I'll give you this part number. It's probably easier to find.
Okay.
Bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, sure thing.
Get that for you. So it's just the pressure switch for the other model. You'll be able to find it. It's just going to be 94-800-05 pumps. What I would do is just put SureFlow in that part number I just gave you in the Google or Amazon, and you'll find it. And yes, Amazon's probably the cheapest, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the help.
Yeah, take care. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Bye. Wow. Okay. So, I'm surprised they picked up so quickly, and I'm surprised he actually gave me some advice. He told me to try out this part number instead, and he told me to just look up the SureFlow, and then I enter the part number. They don't have any of the specific part numbers directly on their website, so I gotta go on Amazon or I gotta go on Google. After looking for parts with the matching part number and clicking on the description to make sure that it's eligible with my pump and reading the reviews to confirm it's not a crappy part, I found the exact piece I was looking for. Okay, I found the part. I better order it. It's $40 as opposed to buying a whole new pump that's probably around $170. And then if I were to buy a new pump, then that would mean that I have to rewire everything. So I'd probably have to buy new wires, new terminals, and all this other junk. Since I ordered the part, I'm just waiting for it to come into the mail, so I'm at a bit of a standstill for my project, so I decided to go hit the gym.
They put into your mind. Embrace for the glory as you stare into the sky. The sky beneath. I know you can be tired.
So here's our package. This is our part that we've been waiting for patiently in the mail. I mean, this popcorn is just so messy. There's no way I can't make a mess. So we got a box in a box. We're just gonna have to hook it up and hope for the best. I know for a fact before I even hook this thing up, I know that I need to drain my valve. So I gotta look through this manual and figure that out. I wanna say this looks like the right part, but there's only one way to find out. So draining this water pump might be easier than I thought, right? Because I got my sink right here. So I'm just gonna, I have a quick disconnect and I can just quickly disconnect. I'm gonna do that first. This, I don't know if this wire is corroded or not, because this one is silver. This is supposed to be what I thought was supposed to be copper THHN stranded, but it's dark, so I don't know if anybody in the comments, if this is corroded, someone let me know. It looks like it. So if anyone's following along though, this is the 16 to 14 gauge crimper. Dude, that's so stripped out. I gotta go back inside of Home Depot and do something about my stripped. Alright, so hopefully this is the last time I gotta walk into the store to buy something. I don't know why I'm all the way out here buying all these tools. I'm buying like $100 worth of fucking tools. A drill bit and a hammer as well, I guess. Okay, so I bought even more tools because it didn't tell me until I opened up the manual that you gotta go out and you gotta buy 50 different tools. Oh! Ooh! All right, today's a new day, so we're gonna get back at this. I think I know what I did wrong. So I got the right tools today. Haha. Man, I can't believe it was that easy and I made such a big issue out of it. So I just had to tap it in with a hammer and then just reverse it. So I don't even know how to pull this out, doesn't matter, it's done. All right, so today is another new day. I got everything hooked up, but I never put any sealant over it and it wouldn't prime properly. So that's a problem. It's not, the water's not running still. So I got an idea here. I got this waterproof tape seal stuff that I'm gonna just put over all the threads because I didn't do it the first time. But luckily the power works, but I'm gonna take these off. I got a better tool to take these off too, so I'm not freezing. It's possible that this is where the problem lies, is the fact that I don't have a sealant over this. There can be microscopic holes that are not allowing it to vacuum the water properly. That's my theory. So I'm just gonna seal it and then I'm gonna turn everything back on and see if that's the issue. Hopefully that's the problem. That'd be a very easy fix. All right, let's see if it pumps. Oh, that's not good. Well, I turned it on and the fuse popped immediately. I just heard it. Yep, sure enough. This is a brand new fuse too. Look at that, it just popped. So you can tell a good fuse from a burnt fuse. This is the good fuse where you can see that little U shape in the middle. And then the bad fuse is you can see that U shape, but there's like a little burn mark in the center of it. So the burnt fuse you can't use anymore. You burnt it. When you trip a breaker, and you use too much power in a power source and it shuts off. Most of the time in a house, it's got a switch, but I don't have a switch. I just have a fuse. So instead of this switching, it just burns out once and you have to change the whole thing instead of just pressing the switch to switch it back on. So mine burnt out, so I'm gonna swap it with this new one. So that's not supposed to happen. We can get rid of that. It might be a quick fix for me to just use this 20 amp fuse next. Because what am I going to do, downsize my fuse? This is an automotive fuse. This is not like an RV fuse or anything. So I'm going to try this out and just see what happens. Oh. The 20 amp fuse popped as well, but after going through my own footage, I gave myself an idea. THHN stranded, but it's dark, so I don't know if anybody in the comments, if this is corroded, someone let me know. It looks like it. But I don't know, I'm not a professional electrician, so I wouldn't really know. I reviewed my footage back and I think it solved my problem. Because the first thing in the troubleshooting section of my instruction manual is to check the electrical connection. And looking back at that clip, that wire looks to be burnt out. So I ran to the store and got a 14 gauge wire with a bunch of terminals and reconnected them. I'm gonna disconnect the positive and the negative terminals of the water pump. Since my wire's corroded, I decided to get myself some primary wire. There was only 12-foot wire, so I bought some butt splice connectors to combine the wires to make them longer if I need be. So this is everything that you're gonna need for this. I bought two 12-footers because that's all the store had. I can use these butt splice connectors though to expand the size of the wire, make it longer in case it needs to get longer. So I got my 2 ring terminals. So I'm just gonna prepare these wires. It's gonna start getting dark soon, so I'm just gonna start preparing these wires and then I'll get them hooked up tomorrow. All right, so we got both of the wires prepared. This is now 24 feet long as opposed to 12. Is just wire it into the breaker and then install it. All right, so I'm at Home Depot right now. I'm gonna get this hooked up now. So I'm gonna cut these off and then I'm gonna recut a new set. Just priming right now. It's priming, but it's not producing water. All right, so I was still having problems with my water pump. So I have a new theory now. I wonder if the vacuum is not doing what it's supposed to do. The vacuum is important because it sucks the water in, right? So I wonder if I take off this inlet hose and then test it without this inlet hose, because maybe there is a small leak somewhere in this inlet hose. Maybe this isn't crimped hard enough or something. I don't know. But I got a bucket of water right here. My theory is I can just take off this connector right here, and then I can aim it into the water and then let it suck out water from this bucket. So we're gonna take off this inlet side. We're gonna leave the strainer on, hit my switch while I'm holding the pump over the water. I can't let any air get into this pump. So I'm gonna let the pump sit in the water, and then I can freely go into the back, turn on my pump. Okay, so we got it a couple inches into the water. I don't think this pump's gonna fall directly into the bucket. We're gonna power this thing on and see what happens. So the pump is facing into the bucket. It's going directly into the bucket. I think this is gonna be the issue. So I really think it's just a vacuum leak. I think it's maybe the inlet hose has a leak in it somewhere. And I think that this is gonna tell us what our problem is. So here we go. Okay, I don't know why the fuse popped. That's not ideal. I literally put a 20 amp fuse in there too. I don't know why it popped. We're literally back to square one. I give up. There's nothing left I can do. I thought of everything that I could have done, and it's just not working. And I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. If anybody wants to live in a van, or even like just building their own house, like all by themselves, whenever there's a lot of progress, there's going to come a lot of problems behind it, and there's going to be a lot of learning lessons. You need to have a lot of patience to do this, because I'm losing my sanity. Because just think, I was working on this pump for so freaking long. I was just trying to save a couple bucks by trying to fix it, but I give up. And now I got to buy a whole new pump, and I already spent 40 bucks on a new part. I guess I'll remove that part and just keep it with me just in case I need it again. But because just think, I could have gotten, if that pump was never broken, I probably would have had a nice full set of cabinets built right here already. Like the whole time I was working on it, I was like thinking to myself, like, man, I'm just wasting my time. And I was right. I should have just tossed it, and I should have just bought another one, and I should have just installed it. I was trying to save money, but I was wasting a lot of time. So what is more important to me? Getting this whole van build done is most important. And I've been working on it for about a year now, and it's not done yet. So, and then you just start getting worried. Like, man, is this ever gonna get done? Or am I just gonna keep continuously spinning my tires on problems on stuff that I already installed? What sucks about this one is I didn't really learn much. I just learned that if I'm gonna let my van freeze over, I need to drain my water pump, because I didn't do that, and my van froze over a lot of nights. And there were cold nights too, so don't have any water pump that has a motor. If you're gonna let your van freeze over, maybe you could get away with those little step pumps where you have to like step on it to produce water. But I'm trying to live in comfort right now. I shouldn't have to just pump it with my foot. But that's basically it. I'm just gonna buy the new water pump, and then I'm just gonna reinstall it.